Alrighty, good day everyone and welcome back to another CAD FAQ video. Today's video we are going to be working with the layer properties, how to set them up and how to use them. So just to give you a brief rundown, I'm going to set up a layer property and then show you how I would use it in a typical example that I've got here of this house. As you can see, there's no line weights with any of these lines at all. So it's basically just a blank drawing which I'm then going to assign line weights to by using layer properties. There are also many other ways of doing this, but I'm going to show you how to do it with layer properties because there are also a lot of nice useful things that you can do once you have got layer properties, which I am going to show you a bit later on in the video. Okay, so first of all, to start off with, you're going to go click on this icon here, layer properties. Once you do that, this window should open up. And as you can see, I've got quite a few here already. Now, these are just personal preferences. You are welcome to use my own as long as you don't sue me for anything. But to make a new layer, what you want to do is go find this little icon over here. Click on that. It'll come up with this highlighted option right here. And you're going to give your layer a name. So, for example, this one I'm going to call door swings. Alrighty, this is where you change the color. So this is the color which is going to be displayed on your drawing, and I'm going to make mine dark gray. Now this is where you change the line type. Now at the moment it's just a solid line. If you want to make it, let's say for example, a dashed line, you're going to click load, and then you're going to find a whole bunch of different line options here that you can choose. So like I said, for example, to make this a dashed line, I'm going to use this one because it's spaced out a bit better. You just click on it, say OK, then it'll appear here. Click on it again here and say OK. And as you can see that one's different to all these ones, which means it has changed. This is where you can change your line weight. There are two places to actually change your line weights. If you change it here and you don't change it in the end plot styles, then it'll follow whatever you have set here. But if you don't change it here, and you do change it in your end plot styles, it'll follow what it has in your end plot styles, which I will show you how to do in another video. So according to the preferences that I use, dark gray for me is 0,09. So that is what I'm going to set my line weight. Now, another thing which is cool about using different layer properties is that you can turn them on or off, which I'll show you later, but basically you use these tools here, which allows you to do certain things, and then locking it means that you won't be able to edit it at all. I'm not actually too sure what that one means. I think it just means that it's visible or not visible. But this one over here is quite important. I've had a lot of people tell me that they've set up their line weights and it's not printing. You then basically want to come back to this and make sure that that hasn't happened, because this is how you can either turn a line on or off to print. So if your lines look like that, those specific lines that you've made with these layer properties won't print. So you want to make sure that there's no like a no entry sign or whatever you call that sign on any of these print icons here. Okay, so once you've got your layer properties, you can close this window. It saves it automatically. The one thing that I always do with my drawings is save after I've done something big. So you want to make sure that you continuously save your drawing to avoid losing any work. Okay, so once again, just following my preferences, I'm going to go around quickly and change a few things with the layer properties. So what you're going to want to do then is just select the object or the line that you want to change. Go to this little drop down option here next to your layer properties, and then select which line weight you want to use. I've used doors. I should actually be using countertops, but I haven't made one for countertops. But my countertops are exactly the same as the doors, so it doesn't really matter. The only thing that does matter is then I will have to remember that if I alter the door line property in any way, it will change the countertops as well. So there we go. Just to do everything properly, we now have countertops. So we can go change that to countertops. Okay, so what I just did there was very time consuming, and I'm going to show you a much quicker way to do that by using the blue selection tool, which is this. Now, I don't know if you know this, but usually when you select something, it's like this. You click once on your mouse and you move your pointer in whichever direction you're wanting to select. And that basically selects everything that it touches. Now, another selection tool is the blue selection tool. Now, this is quite useful if you've got, for example, these little blocks over here that are in between lines, that if I try to select the block, it selects everything else with it. The blue selection tool only selects what falls within its block. So if there's another line that's outside the block, as you can see here, the bottom square isn't selected yet, it won't select it. But if everything to do with that line falls inside the block, it will then select it. An example are these lines here. As you can see, it hasn't selected this line, but as I get to the end, it selects the line. So that's just quite useful if you do have blocks like this which are in the middle of other lines and you don't want to select the other lines, you just want to select those blocks. Again, just click once and you move from left to right. And there you go, you select what you need. Now to deselect, you hold down Shift and then you click on the thing that you want to deselect. So for another example here, I've accidentally selected this. Push Shift, either use the blue or the green selection to deselect it. Another function that's quite good is to group objects, such as this. I want to group all of these because they're basically the same object and I want them to all be the same line weight. So I select the objects, I type GRO on my keyboard, I push enter, it's now grouped those objects. So if I select one, they will all be selected. So that way I can quickly and easily change those line weights to what I need them to be. Okay, another quite important and useful trick that I want to show you guys quickly is how to match properties to something. So instead of me going around and selecting all the walls in this building, I can just click on this line with match properties. I click on there once, I click on the line that I want, and then I click on every line that I want to change to that property. This means that every single line I select now will have the same properties as the line that I took it from. Okay, and if you've made a mistake, like you can see here, don't push escape, because pushing escape will delete all the work that you've just done. Push enter, okay, and then go back to your mistake, and you can just change it with another match properties, or you can delete it itself. As you can see here, I made another mistake. I'm just going to match properties of this line to this line. In the end, these will actually become red as per my preference, but for now we're just going to leave it white. Alright, well there you guys go. I hope that's been a helpful video for you. Remember that if you did find this video helpful, leave a like and a comment to make sure that I know that I've helped you and to make more of these videos. Stay tuned for more CAD FAQ and have a good one.